Hi everyone. To follow up on my previous video, I want to show you how to complete the setup of a GST experiment on the ABsmartly platform. Like with a fixed horizon experiment, GST can be set up using the MDE. So the MDE, the minimal detectable effect, is the smallest effect that the experiment is designed to detect for the chosen power. So in this case, 80%. In the case of GST, that value is then used to define the maximum possible runtime. Of course, in case of GST, the expectation is that the experiment will come to an early conclusion. But if this does not happen, so if the experiment does not cross either of the boundary during one of the interim analysis, then we can conclude that there is no conclusive evidence that the change has the expected effect on that particular metric. And so when the experiment reaches its max duration, it can be stopped for futility. So it's important that you still enter a good MDE. And choosing a good MDE is a pain point. It doesn't matter if it's GST, or fixed horizon. It's always been quite a difficult part of the setup of an experiment. In ABsmartly, you do have this built-in power calculator, which can help you choose the right value. So if you enter your conversion rate, you can see how many participants you will need in your experiment to be able to detect the change that you expect to have. So for example, if you expect to have a 5% change in your metric, then in this case, you will need about 100,000 visitors. And the method is the same. It doesn't matter if it's GST, if it's Horizon. This is the same way of defining your MD here. What's different? In the case of Group Sequential, you can actually define the maximum runtime. So instead of defining the MDE, you define the maximum runtime. Based on your max runtime, of course, the GST engine will adjust the MDE accordingly. This is a much simpler way to create your experiment, I think, which matches better how teams are working and how they are planning experiment. But of course, you still need to understand what this means. Like, for example, if I enter 3 weeks here, there's still going to be MD attached to this experiment. So you can switch to the advanced mode here, and you can see for my current conversion rate, number of participants, I can see that if I set the maximum runtime of 3 weeks, my experiment will be set up to be able to detect a 9% change in that metric. If that's good enough, it's fine. Otherwise, you need to be willing to accept the longer possible runtime for your experiment. Otherwise, you're going to be wasting time and you're not going to learn nothing from this experiment. So it's very important, whatever the method you use, that your MDE actually matches what you're trying to achieve. So if your experiment is not set up in the right way, again, you'll be wasting time, which is the last thing you want to do, because waiting 3 weeks to learn nothing is probably not what you want to be doing. That's it for now. And to finish on the topic of GST, I will be making one more video to explain how to evaluate them. So yeah, stay tuned. We'll be posting that very soon on our channels, and I will see you then. Bye.